This is Brad with the ELC. Welcome to the Canvas Introduction to Building Workshop video version. We're going to divide the workshop into 3 videos of about 10 minutes long each. So when you finish this one, be sure and move on to video number 2 and video number 3. As most of you probably know, Collin College has selected Canvas as our new learning management system, and it's going to replace Blackboard starting in the fall of 2016. So all of your courses will be taught via Canvas starting in the fall of 2016. In addition to that, your access to Blackboard is going to end on September 30th, 2016. So you need to get anything that you want to get out of Blackboard out of there by that time. In the ELC, we've looked at a lot of other universities who've made this transition from Blackboard to Canvas and have found that the process is basically plan your course, prepare your content, and then build your course in Canvas. So in the planning phase of this, you're going to put together your course objectives. You're going to figure out how these students are going to move through your course, navigate your course. You're going to know what your course content is, what assignments you want, what tests, what all the due dates are. All of that you need to plan ahead of time before you go in to build your course. Now, this is a best practice. Obviously, you don't have to follow this suggestion, but it's going to make your life a whole lot easier if you do. So plan first. And then you're going to prepare your content for bringing it into Canvas. Some of you have hopefully taken our Blackboard cleanup workshop. If all of your content lives in Blackboard and not on your computer, then you need to take it out of Blackboard and clean it up in preparation for bringing it into Canvas. If you haven't already attended one of our Blackboard cleanup workshops, then I strongly advise that you do that. We also have a Blackboard cleanup video, and if you need to access that, it's on our YouTube channel. You may already have your files organized exactly the way you want them on your local computer, and that's perfectly fine. You don't need to go through the Blackboard cleanup process in that case. But the whole point being is that you're going to get your content ready to bring it into Canvas, and that's the preparation phase. And then, of course, the last part of it is the building phase, and we're going to start to take a look at that today. We're going to do a broad overview of all of these things: global settings and notifications, uploading files, the dashboard, how to set your home page, how to build a module or two. We're going to look at the syllabus and the calendar. We're going to look at the student view. We're going to look at the concept of publishing in Canvas, which is highly important. The recommended course menu, in other words, how your students are going to navigate through your course and how you can control that in Canvas. And we'll look at a neat tool that Canvas has called the Course Setup Checklist. This is a hands-on workshop. I'm going to walk you through all of this. So go ahead and log into Canvas and we'll get started on this. If you have never accessed Canvas yet, the only way that you can access Canvas is through Cougar Web. There's no longer a backdoor like there was for Blackboard. So you need to log into your Cougar Web, navigate to your Faculty tab, and then right here you can either click on the logo or you can click on Access to Canvas. That'll open up your Canvas. It's a single sign-on, so you won't need to put in your credentials again. It automatically takes you to your dashboard, but the first thing that I want to look at is the account. Over here on the left-hand side, this menu is the user menu. This is the professor level, or if you're a student, this is the student level of navigation in Canvas. So let's click on the Account tab, and we're going to set up some very important things in settings first. These settings apply to all of your courses, and one of the most important aspects of Canvas is right over here called Ways to Contact. As you can see, your Collin email address has been pre-populated into the email address area. You can add another email address if you wish. You can also add your phone number. As you can see, I've put in my phone number so that I will get notifications via text message. And I've also got a social media account via Twitter added in here. Now, it's important to understand that both in your email and in your phone number, you're not going to get inundated with notifications unless you want to. you are able to set up the level of intensity of notifications, and you do that over here on the left hand side in the notifications tab. And we'll get to that in just a second, but first I want to show you that you can edit some of these settings in here. Click on the edit button over here on the right hand side, and language can be changed. English is the system default, and make sure that your time zone is set to Central Time. That's very important. It should default to that, but double check it and make sure it's set to Central Time. Click Update Settings if you made any changes. Now that we've got that set up, I'm going to show you how to specify what notifications you receive. Over here in the left-hand panel again, Notifications, click on that, and that'll take you to the Notification Preferences screen. And there are a lot of different notifications that you can possibly receive. Generally speaking, students tend to turn up the notifications and professors tend to turn down the notifications. Anything that you see that has a black box around it means that you have chosen to be notified in that manner. You can get a notification right away, you can get a daily summary, or you can get a weekly summary. As you can see up here, you've got the email address on file, you've got the cell number on file, you've got the Twitter account, and you've got push notifications. So you can go in and change these to whatever you want. Again, professors tend to narrow things down a bit, while students may choose to be notified about all of these aspects. And in fact, you should strongly urge your students to turn their notifications up to high. Tell them that the best way for them to succeed in their course is to stay informed. And what this means is that if a due date changes, they're going to get a notification if they've turned that notification on. If the course content has changed, if you have said, I need you to read this instead of this, they're going to get a notification. So as you can see, it's really important that they turn these things up so that they get notified. And you can feel free to turn them down so that when you make changes in your course, you're not constantly getting notifications about it. So you can set those to however you want. And there's quite a few of them, as you can see. You can always come in here and change these as well. So don't feel like the way that you set it up today is going to be exactly the way you have to keep it. So next I'm going to go into a course. If you click on Dashboard, as you can see, I have a lot of courses because we're doing a lot of training. I'm going to go into ELC Training Course 30. Click on that course. You can also get to courses via the Courses tab, and that opens up a menu of all of your courses in text format, and you can access it that way as well. But here in my course, the first thing that I want to show you is how to get those files that you cleaned up and organized via the Blackboard Cleanup Workshop, or if you already had them on your own, how do you get them up into Canvas? So as you can see over here, this is the course navigation menu. Some of the stuff is grayed out. And grayed out means one of two things. It means either there is no content inside that area, or it means that you have turned that area off for student viewing. Right now, let's click on Files. Even if it's grayed out, you can still click on it. And here you see the Files area for this course. Uploading your files into this course could not be any easier. All you have to do over here on the right-hand side is click Upload. Then you're going to navigate to wherever you saved the course file. I put mine in this folder right here. I'm on my H drive, by the way. I put mine in this folder right here. And here's my course content. As you can see, I've got it organized into weeks with a few extras on the side. But the only problem with this is that the main folder is still a folder. I need to zip this up in order to be able to upload it into Canvas. Canvas only deals, just like Blackboard, in zip files. So I got to cancel that for now, and I'm going to come down to my File Explorer, navigate to my H drive, and to turn this into a zip file, it's very simple. Right-click on it, choose Send to Compressed Zipped Folder. That'll make an exact copy of this, and you can tell it's the zipped version because it's got that little zipper on the folder right there. So now I can go back and try that one more time. I'm going to click Upload, navigate to where that zip file is. There it is right there. Highlight it and click Open, or you can double click it. And here, because it's a zip file, would you like to expand the contents or would you like to just simply upload it? We want to expand it so that all of our files are available for our use once we get in there. So I'm going to click expand it. And it may take a second to get these files in here depending on the size of your course content. So there you go. As you can see here, course content, Blackboard to Canvas. It's the exact same name of the file that I had offline. If I click it, here you see all of the folders exactly the way that I had it offline, and the individual files exactly the way they looked offline. So you have this main window here. You also have this window over here that shows you the content for this specific course. So I organized my material by weeks. You can organize it by chapters. You can organize it by units. If the way that you have always done it is to put all of your PowerPoints in a folder and all of your miscellaneous content like your syllabus and so forth in another folder, organize it however is most appropriate for you. The whole point of organizing this material is so that when you go in to build your course, you know exactly where to look to find something and you don't spend a lot of time trying to dig around. Okay, that's about it for this video. In video number 2, we're going to take a look at some of the features in Canvas, including modules, setting the home page, the syllabus, and the calendar. Thanks for watching. And always remember that the ELC is here for you during this transition to Canvas. Give us a call, shoot us an email, come to one of our workshops, and we'll help make this as easy for you as possible. Thanks, and have a great day.